daughter's a freshman. And I talked to Tony, he said that
Time is 7:02. I now like to call this meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do, I know. It's like there's more than Marty missing. Oh, Rich.
Well, good evening, all. I guess since we have an audience on television, I'd like to thank anybody who takes time to tune in and follow the conduct of our meetings. After all, we're here to represent you guys. It's your kids or grandkids or family members, and every dollar we spend is your money. So we appreciate any input you have for that. We take those responsibilities seriously. First item tonight is special reports, and I am responsible for the first special report. My report is regarding my attendance. My monthly attendance is at the Westmoreland County Intermediate Unit Number 7 board meetings. Last month, the regular boarding meeting was held the 23rd at the IU with an executive session held prior that extended from 5:45 to 7 o'clock. The items reviewed
If you just move your mic closer so he can hear Mr. Benton. Thank you.
Thank you for the reminder. And I apologize. Items reviewed included several pending new employees to be hired, including proposed pay rates and job duties, update on negotiations being held for professional employees contract. We reviewed parameters for the possibility of adding a new class of employees, which would be something new. Some other various potential property items were discussed, and some legal matters were reviewed. The regular board meeting was called to order at 7 o'clock. 11 board members present, 6 board members were absent, so we were able to conduct business because we had a quorum. There were no citizens or visitors were present to make any comments or questions. The executive director's report was presented by the executive director. It was very brief and concise. Various human resources items were discussed and acted on, including resignations, retirements. A number of new hires, also some leave requests were approved. Some other miscellaneous agreements were approved. And I would like to add, there's very specific details, information is available on the website that has a complete minutes and agendas for those meetings. So rather than bore everybody with all the details, they are readily available for a review on the website. And that concludes my report. Now, Mr. Petrucci, I understand you might have a report for us.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. We met September 1st. Now, one thing you'll know, we give, I hope all of you, but this is the big important thing, the holiday banquet that you people attend, and myself, we couldn't make it last year because of health reasons, will be December 8th. So, please, I'd like to have the same kind of attendance as we've had, previously, and, you people are highly appreciated. The kids, it's a very nice time, as many of you all have been exposed to. Okay, the parking lot, we saw the basketball courts as you go on the right-hand side, they're not the parking lot. They're basketball courts, and they need a basket, so what they did now is that is convenient, especially for, night school people, and also the weather factors involved in the open house and, all kind of different ceremonies, they pack it, they needed this lot over the right-hand side. And now, to make the phys ed requirement fulfilling, we're gonna have, they'll get 2 grades, one from a teacher, and their shop that they're in, and also another grade, there'll be a visiting phys ed teacher. If the weather's conducive, they will go outside, if not, they'll have, book instruction, textbook instruction, or computer instruction, be some kind of education for them. There'll be 2-letter grades, the same before, but when weather provides, they will go outside and participate. But they needed that spot, and they converted it now to a lighted parking lot. Okay, what else we see? I've got it right here, everything's circled. A motion to approve the 1-year rental of Prime Communications for service of telephone equipment, $6,445.36. That was an increase of $901 from last year. Let me see, go through here, go there, and mark I want to get through. Accept the resignation of Stephen Saunders, Special Education Learning Facilitator, effective August 10th. And also motion to hire Taylor Barlow as a Workforce Education Coordinator at a salary of $54,000, effective immediately for the 22-23 school year. And maybe we'll go here some more. And I got this all circled. Oh, here we go. Again, agreement with the St. Vincent College Educational Support Intervention. Motion to approve the renewal agreement to service delivery between St. Vincent College and Central West Winona Career Technology Center to provide educational support and intervention for student body effective 22-23 school year. The cost is $25,200, the same cost as it was last year. Now, our individual apartments, this is for my good friend, Mr. Leonard, since his granddaughter. The cosmetology will be expanded, the side room expansion, because the enrollment and the popularity is so outstanding, we had to expand the cosmetology. Like we did the welding a few years ago, if you can remember that. There are now 10 kids in the co-op program that we started with. We have 100 kids by New Year. Then there's a service occupation, which is a special education program, which I was involved with. The enrollment is up now. We went from halftime, we had 8 students, now 31 students, and the areas close by there is UPS, Cracker Barrel, there's a Wendy's there, I believe. There's also a service station that kids can go drive to from the school and put their half day in. Right now, the kids they plan on working them AM and in school in PM, because those people need people in the morning more than anything else. The employment factor is huge right now. I never seen employment jobs available in my whole almost 80 years of living now. The jobs just available, and the salaries they're paying, starting out with no experience, it's just outstanding to me. The machinist apprenticeship class enrollment for year 1 was 40 apprenticeship students. State inspection class will begin September 19th. Admission certification class will begin October 11th. There are 7 students already signed up, and they started August 29th for the CDL program. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. President. My next meeting is October the 6th, I believe it is. October 6th. That's all, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Petrucci. Prior to this meeting, from approximately 5:15 to 7 o'clock, we held a executive session with four basic topics. We discussed personnel matters and staff training, updates on active litigation matters, updates regarding school security, and received information regarding facilities plan. And having said that, I will now turn the meeting over to Dr. Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard. First up, we're very happy to have a student representative with us tonight for this year, Ella Welsh. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me. So it's very nice to see all of you and meet all of you. My name is Ella Welsh. I'm a senior here at the high school. Today I'm going to discuss a little bit about homecoming and our new club fair holding this Wednesday for the students. So the club fair, we'll be having over 30 of our clubs come into the cafeteria during all 3 lunches. Students are welcome to, after they are done eating, dismiss to the gymnasium to meet clubs. We are very excited to welcome freshmen, but also our new students just to experience a new club or something they've never done. We have many new clubs signing up. For example, we have a makeup club that was just brought up, and we're very excited for all our students to explore and meet people. It's a very cool opportunity. Homecoming is coming up. This year we decided to do gods and goddesses as our theme. Everyone is very excited, and we already have clubs signing up to do the parade. We are excited for the community to get involved, and Student Union, we're a well-oiled machine. Even though it's October, we have so much time to plan. We will not stop. We will make this a fun and a safe evening for everyone. Thank you for your time. I do have some prior commitments with the Drama Guild that I need to attend to. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. That was very well done.
What club are you in?
What clubs I am? I'm in Student Union. I am in Stage 2 Club, the Drama Guild. I am also part of the Leo Club, and I do Pin Tracker TV. So that's what I do.
Keeping you busy.
I'm busy. I love being busy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have some different announcements and different things going on. It was just announced last week that Pennsylvania will, starting October 1st, everyone, if you are in the school breakfast program, will again receive a free breakfast this year. Not a lunch. Last year they did lunches and breakfast for everyone. But as of October 1st, everyone will receive a free breakfast. That's for all of our elementary and our middle schools. As you know, the high school is not on, we opt out of the lunch school program. Next week, the 5th graders across the district will go to Deer Valley. This year only, we will also be taking the grades 6 and 7 students, and that's later on in October. So I was very happy and I'm very thankful for the board that you actually agreed to fund the 6th and 7th grade. I got a lot of compliments. I was at back to school night. I had at least 3 people, and I got about 2 different emails. So thank you for supporting that. Tonight, we were asked you to approve the boys' basketball trip and a cheerleading trip for the following week. This is on next week's agenda. The boys' basketball team will be going to participate in an overnight tournament at York. And it's not a motion, it's for next week. And their cheerleaders will be going to participate in the UCA National High School Cheerleading Championship in Orlando, Florida again. It's great that the boys basketball team are doing these overnight trips. It's great that the cheerleaders are once again traveling out of state. We had a lot of success last year, so it's great for them to compete. So it's good to see them actively involved. Mr. Simpson, Mrs. Oblikofer, and Mrs. Datz from Penn Middle School were asked to present at the Lee 22 PA Principals Conference. They are presenting on the subject of filling gaps through flexible grouping. They do a lot of great work in that area. As you know, flexible grouping is something that we have always taken pride at Penn Trafford. They will also attend other sessions based on the leadership interest in building needs. The total cost of the conference is $1,125.06, and that's going to be on the board for next week to approve as well. We have 11 students participating in the AFJROTC at Norring. This is the most that we ever had participate. I appreciate Norring allowing our students to participate and for their school board to fund the program. It's about $1,500 per student. The children who go through the JROTC start off, if they could go to the military, at an advantage once they enter, and even an advantage as far as pays from what I was told at the information meeting, which I thought was very interesting, so I'm glad they have the chance. I'd like to thank Carrie Hattrick and all that's involved. Who made the salute to military and police, Rescue 6, firefighters, and our faith leaders a success. We had 119 join us for the reception before the game, as well as many more in the stands. Thanks to Chief Otto for arranging the flyover as well after the conclusion of the event on the field. That was very nice to see. I don't know if you were on there, but It was a good moment, and again, it was just so nice to see everyone and appreciate them for all they've done for us. And the kids, they had the whole American theme, and it was a good night altogether. Plus, we won. What was the final? It was like 48 to 14? 21?
42 to 12 or something.
It's,
It wasn't close.
it wasn't close.
They used the mercy.
48 to
A lot to a little.
Yeah, it was lots. It's funny, just a couple of days ago, I'm already in my mind thinking, bus evacuation drills will be conducted in all schools during this week. It is their state requirement to do twice a year. And I got an update from the band. It wasn't on my sheet. The gentleman actually sent me, we had a band show this past weekend. And this past weekend, the Penn Trafford Marching Band hosted the 11th annual Emery Toth Jr. Memorial Band Classic. Mr. Toth was the first director of the high school band after the merger in 1972. They had over 50 volunteers assisting throughout the day, as well as thanks to the Penn Township Ambulance, who offered their support as well. This year, they hosted 7 visiting schools from 5 different classes with the tournament band's lineups. The schools involved were Ligonier, Still Valley, Sierra Catholic, East Allegheny, Eisenhower School, Woodland Hills, Jeanette School District, McKeesport, and of course our own Penn Trafford. Penn Trafford performed the Day of Wrath on Saturday to cap off the performance. As a host, they were not eligible to compete, though they did receive a score and associated critique that would have resulted in a second place victory. The future band shows and competition will be Saturday at East Allegheny on September 17th, at Tyrone on October 1st, at Homer Center on October 8th, and accumulate in the Region 8 Championships, which we will again have the privilege of hosting on October 22nd. All are welcomed and encouraged to attend. And that is the information I have
I
tonight.
a question for you, Dr.
Sure.
Harris. You said the high school opted out of the free breakfast?
Remember, we don't do the school lunch program
Through the
at the
state.
high school through the state.
Okay, I just wanted people to know, so I just say it was some phone calls.
Yes, it's
Could you be a
just,
little elaborate, a little more on that?
yeah, we've always opted out at the, from the state program for the food lunch program. So the students who, we do offer students who need the breakfast for free, because we do have a system for that, a free breakfast if they do
Okay,
qualify.
That's what's gonna be asked.
But now they are having everybody in the whole school, whether you qualify or not, receive it. But that's only if you actually participate in the program. So all of our elementary school students will receive a free breakfast. All of our middle school students will receive one. At the high school, only the students who currently receive one based on need will
Okay.
still receive one.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
And we did that though, Matt, to provide a wider variety of foods that we could eat.
We did.
Absolutely.
We went off the
Because the
program
students, right,
because of the
requesting
restrictions that were involved
upgraded
and
quality
it-
food.
it's been a major,
Change.
major change
For the
for
better.
the good.
Good selling point.
Our percentages of students who actually ate at one point was less than 25%. So it really was a
It was just to
bad.
provide more options.
It
Correct.
was.
Matt, you were right, it was 48-14.
48 to 14. Every once in a while, that whole brain still works. And there was a lot of excitement going on that day too. I do love I love being involved in watching all the kids' activities and events, and I'm looking forward to a great theater season as well as academic season. So it's great to be back in school.
Can you explain Deer Valley, because I know we pay for it, it's constantly, not every school does it. Why do we send kids there, what do they do when they're there?
It's a great team building. It's a great learning about the environment, about themselves. It's a great, just a good opportunity for all those elementary schools to meet up with the other elementary school students. So when they go to middle school, they kind of have some connections. It unifies PT from across all the schools, different stand-up. It just gives the kids an opportunity also to get away with your classmates. But it really, the team building and self-awareness and everything it promotes is, you can't teach that in the classroom. It's something you can only get through the opportunity and
It's
experience.
2 overnights, right?
2 overnights.
And we couldn't do it without the volunteer of the parents. Go to the right.
parent volunteers who go and help us, and
We have teachers.
the
that
teacher
go. I mean,
volunteers.
They're there for, a lot of them are there for 3 days straight. That's a long commitment to be away from your family, so.
3 days, 2 overnights, right?
And I
Yes.
could also comment on that because I.
Mr. Leonard actually
in
used to
past
go.
years, I used to go, I went quite a few years prior to COVID, and it was a very rewarding experience. So you ask what they do. I was not only a volunteer once I said
You
I was
taught,
a volunteer.
used it.
They gave me a subject matter, so I had to help teach some classes on the environment. And so the groups would put on presentations. There was Indian lore, there was hiking, it was just such a wide variety of topics. And for me, it was an experience. It was rewarding. It was just really nice being out in the nature, but it was also educational. There's a lot of good educational content to it. I don't remember how many years I went, but I started going just because they thought they could use help and so forth, and I really liked it a lot. Then it was only fifth graders. This year's the first time.
And it's just for 1 year, because we just want to make up from the
To
sixth
make
and
up
seventh.
for fifth graders
Yep.
that didn't get to go for COVID.
And ironically, there's gonna be some more activities that you can do once you're in sixth and seventh grade due to age. That's gonna be, a little bit different than the elementary gets to experience, but it's the same theme of, unity and team building, and the environment's high-end.
It's also an opportunity. There are a lot of kids who never get to experience this kind of activity, an outdoor recreational activity. It's a camping kind of setting, and, you know, and maybe you're in a family that's not in their wheelhouse, which is understandable, but it's an opportunity to expose kids to different kinds of environments and learning opportunities and different ways of looking at things. So it's just a really eye-opening experience for all of our kids. Regardless of their socioeconomic background, all these kids have an opportunity to get an outdoor experience in that fashion. So I think it's a great program.
Also a nice hike going up the hill to the tower.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's physical activities there, there's art involved,
So you've been to-
sciences.
I would recommend that
Archery,
every one of
yeah.
you board members could get the time, because and just what Scott just said, a lot of the kids told me that I've never been out in the woods. I was raised that way. We had a summer home in the woods out on the river. My dad took us down, and we spent all kind of time in the woods.
In Dallas, the best part of this is it gets the kids off of the televisions and their screens, because there's
Yep.
no cell phone
No
service there.
cell phone
Well,
service.
there is
3 days, no
there's
cell phones.
If you want to go on a cell phone service, you have to climb.
You have to climb the hill.
And call. It's down inside there, isn't it? Because it's Deer Valley. But it is a great experience, I'll tell
And
you.
as a school district, I'm proud of us that we do it, because it is part of the budget. It's a budgetary item,
It's a choice we make.
the choice we make.
And it's
I'm
not
so
that
glad we do it.
expensive. It's a lot of bang for your buck as far as I'm concerned. It's not that expensive for a school district.
Thank you for doing that. Any other questions about my information, or I can go on to what we're doing? Yep, do that now. Next week, under athletics and extracurricular, we're gonna ask you to employ extracurricular personnel for 22-23 school year, approve the boys' basketball trip that I spoke about, approve the cheerleading trip that I spoke about. For budget and finance, we're gonna ask you to approve proposed activities and budgets for student organizations. We will not have any items under 7, 8, or 9. Under personnel and curriculum, we're gonna ask you to approve personnel agenda, approve the Alice State Conference that I spoke to you about, Mr. Simpson, the teachers from Penn Middle School, approve the AFJROTC agreement for our students that attend the Norins program. And we do have an early graduation that we're gonna have you approve as well. And I can guarantee the person went through they meet all the requirements of the school board's policy. And under policy, public relations, legislative Title II, we're gonna ask you to give final approval to board policies and admin regulations. We won't have any items under taxes, insurance, census, and there are no visitors to recognize tonight.
Well, since we have no visitors, we're close to the adjournment time. Is there any other board member or anybody administratively who would like to make any comments before we entertain a motion to close? I have one comment. It is a strong likelihood I won't be here for next Monday's meeting. I believe I'm gonna have to be out of town, and I've informed Mr. Petrucci that he may have to step in, but I would encourage any board members that can be here. I try not to miss. I really don't like to miss. I don't want to run into, and it's never a board meeting that is not important. They're all important, but I do what I can to be here. But I probably,
Nick can hold down a fort.
I know he can.
He's done it once or twice.
He's perfect at that, but I still don't like to shirk my responsibilities, but there's something that looks like it's coming up. Or it has come up. Okay, having said that, hearing no more comments, we would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye? Aye. Opposed, nay? Motion carries. We are adjourned at approximately